Hi, welcome to Jally Talk. This is Jally speaking. Long time no saying. Today I invite my former colleague, Mr. Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Okay, let me introduce Mr. Frank. He was working for Penta Laser since 2010. He was in charge of the sales of laser cutting machine in North China. And from this year, in 2023, he has been put in charge of the overseas market for Penta Laser. Welcome to my Jally Talk. Today's topic is that why China customers are buying 20 kilowatt, 30 kilowatt, or even 60 kilowatt that you're launching this year. Well, many of my overseas customers are still asking 3 kilowatt price, or even some are buying 1.5 kilowatt or 2 kilowatt. There is a big difference between the power range. And even I visit many exhibitions in the last 2 months in Russia, in Korea, and in Europe. We see some 12 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt exhibitors, but not much. Very few of the customers are inquiring this. So today we're going to talk about what's the reason to cause this difference, and how to choose the right power range for your laser cutting machines. So first, Frank, can you please introduce or share with us your experience that since your selling of laser cutting machines from 2010 until last year, I mean the history, your experience of change or revolutions of the Chinese laser cutting industry?
When I started to enter the industry in 2010, at that time, everyone still used the CO2 cutting machine. Then in that year, we saw the fiber laser cutting machine for the first time at the exhibition. Well, it was a 1 kilowatt device at that time. Many customers are still worried about the fiber laser. On the one hand, it's a matter of safety. The other side is about the stability. Is this technical matter? Well, but as time goes by, fiber technology is developing very fast in the Chinese market. First, from low power, 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, the population's time is from 2010 to 2015. The entire low power stage has been universally complete. When the time comes to 2019, Chinese 10 kilowatt laser cutting machines start explosive growth. As mentioned here, many of Chinese customers choose 20 kilowatt, 30 kilowatt, and even 40 kilowatt high power device now.
Okay. So from your experience that we see Chinese laser cutting industry has experienced two revolutions. Yeah. First is from the CO2 to fiber completely. And second is from the low power, medium power fiber to high power fiber. For the first revolution, I know the reason is because fiber laser is saving cost, operation cost, like no mixed gas consumption, very few electricity consumption compared with CO2. I mean, in China, CO2 laser has gone completely, right? Nobody is using that. But for the second, why China is moving so fast from low power fiber to high power fiber? What's the driven factor for this?
Well, I think it's based on the efficiency. In the stage of low power, it's only a reduction of cutting cost. The cutting speed has not been improved. But as the laser power increase, we found that under the boost of high power, our cutting speed achieved a double or even multiple increase.
Yes, I know. Sometimes I explain to customers that with higher power, you of course get many times more faster speed or much more thicker of the material that you can cut. Well, some customers still asking if my maximum thickness is only 18 or 20 millimeter, I probably 3 kilowatt is enough. I don't need any more power on that.
Indeed, this process has also been experienced by customers in Chinese market. When 4 kilowatt or 6 kilowatt comes, many customers think I buy a 6 kilowatt or 4 kilowatt, it can also meet the cutting of my thin and thick plate. However, the comparison found that when the power increased, my overall cutting efficiency will increase several times. In turn, this will increase overall production and workflow efficiency.
Okay, can you share some parameters of the cutting speed of, Penta Laser has proved to be the leader in high power machines in China. You share with us some parameters that how fast the power is changed in the cutting efficiency.
Oh, we are going to show two different tables. One is our wear's power, a cutting capacity. What's about the second floor? It is a comparison.
Okay, let's go through these numbers. Okay, thank you for sharing with us this document, and it's really surprising. It's a revolutionary cutting speed. But when I was working through European market or sometimes talking with overseas customers, and they said, yes, you can cut much faster, but I don't have that much job to do. My machine, 3 kilowatts, is enough, running 8 hours per day. If I buy a 6K or 12K, it cut 3 times faster, but it finished in 1 hour or 2 hours. He thinks that he can handle with 1 day work. So they don't need to cut faster. How to say this?
As we mentioned here, thanks to the improved efficiency of high power, for example, work that took 8 hours to complete in the past, it may only take 2 hours now. The benefit of high power is also reflected in if 2 hours can get the job done. Not only will the overall cost of cutting be reduced, it will also reduce the cost per cut of the workpiece. Not only that, the shortened processing time also makes the delivery time fast.
Okay, so from this point of view that I understand, there are some people that they are more easy to adapt new things to new technology, so they can fit in the new trends easily, so they will lead the market.
Yeah.
And those that they don't want to change, they stay with the old way of production. Probably one day they will wake up and out of date, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this I think is very reasonable and clear, shows the trend of high power is coming and we need to be prepared. And I know the Penta Laser is very leading in high power machines. But there are many brands are selling high power, and Bodor is also coming with their 60 kilowatt machine. So in making a high power laser cutting machine, does it has a lot of complicated issues, or is just put a higher power laser source is enough? Is there any you can share with us some ideas of this?
Well, that's a very good question. High power is not just to increase the power of the lasers. At the same time, our overall design of the machine tools, gantry run speed, acceleration, stability needs overall improved. For example, we need a faster acceleration, a faster running speed, and a large machine pallet. This will reduce our workbench exchange time. At the same time, the large format plane can make our get higher nesting rate, reduce the number of workbench exchanges.
Okay, so high power laser cutting machine is not only make the laser higher power, but it's we can say that it's a solution. It's a high efficiency cutting solution, not only including the power, the cutting speed, but also acceleration of the motors of moving parts and also lasting. Okay, thank you. And I think, according to my understanding, a very key point to go higher power is the cutting head, right? Because every time when we're facing the power go higher, like the first 20K, the first 30K, the first 60K, everybody, the first breakthrough is on making the cutting head. Do you have some ideas that can share with us how Penta has gone through these cutting head versions?
Every time power upgrade, what worries customer and the market most is the cutting head, because it's easy to increase the power of the laser source, but the major challenge is to the cutting head, because the light transmittance of the cutting head length is limited. So whenever the power is increased, the resulting high temperature and even the drift of the focal point are hard to be controlled by the CNC. Therefore, when the high power comes, the custom head needs to be upgraded. For example, choose a large lens size and a deeper focal length. increase the range of our process adjustment to accommodate a high power cutting requirement.
Very professional explanation. Frank has been really deep into the technical points. Okay, the last two questions for today's discussion. So we've gone through that why high power is coming, and what's the main factors for driving the higher power of the machine. And in the end, I think we need to have some preview for the market change. I mean, the first revolution that from the CO2 to fiber or medium power fiber, which has replaced the punching machine and scissors, those machines. I mean, another trend is happening now in China is that higher power, like 20 kilowatt, 30 kilowatt, is replacing the plasma cutting. So can you introduce some, now the situation in China, what is happening of this fiber replacing plasma?
As mentioned here just now, from 2010 to 2015, Chinese low power is a period of explosive growth. During the period of time, laser cutting replaced many punchings and shears. Starting from 2019, the high power began to grow explosively until now. The pace of development in the Chinese market is to replace plasma cutting machine with super high power laser cutting machine.
Do you have any examples?
There are many such cases, like the famous Chinese company Sanyi Heavy Industry, Zhou, and the shipbuilding industry. They all bought hundreds of laser cutting machines instead of plasma cutting.
Hundreds of machines in their factories?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. And I think still a bigger market share to develop. Also, because now 60 kilowatt can cut 100 millimeter stainless steel or even thicker.
200, more than 200 millimeters.
Wow, more than 200. Yeah. So I think maybe it can replace the flame cutting, oxygen cutting in future someday.
It's an interesting question. I think maybe in future the power will keep increase. Maybe we can see the laser will instead of the flame cutting.
Okay, what's your idea about the trend of this? Is it will go higher? I mean, 70 kilowatt or 80 kilowatt? What's the, I mean, does it have an end or it will increase in like this forever?
I think time will tell.
Okay, thank you for today. Thank you for coming to my Jally Talk. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. And we're coming with more new development of Chinese laser cutting industry and other laser knowledge. Bye bye.